What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today we are jumping into our next episode in the How to Paint series for Monster Flight Cubs, Borderlands, Mr. Torgue, Badassery. Today we are jumping into Flak. He is already primed and dry brushed, and this one is actually going to be a tad bit more difficult because he has a lot going on with him. But yeah, Flak is a playable character in Borderlands 3. So he's one of the Vault Hunters for Borderlands 3. According to the Echo log found aboard Sanctuary 3, Flak served as a indexing unit under the command of a man known as the Grand Archivist. Sometimes before the events of Borderlands 3, their employment was out short when Flak suddenly acquired self-awareness and a thirst for murder. As Flak puts it, at this time it is unknown what brought about the sudden change in Flak, or which archives Flak and their master were responsible for. So, there's a lot going on with Flak. He has a lot of different colors within his costume itself. I didn't play much of Flak on Borderlands 3. I was mainly a Zane player, but I did like playing Amara and Mose. Flak, though, he was an OP character. He's very OP. Like, when the game first released, it was dead. Like, he was like taking shit over. But I didn't like the way his character model looked. Like, he was so like stuffed with shit. It kind of makes sense though, because he is a Beastmaster. So we have 3 pets that also go along with him, but we're not painting them pets today. We don't have the time for that. So I'm going to be doing a video for each individual pet, even the Skag. And then I have Skags at the gate, so we will do all the Skags later on. That's like my final thing I want to do. But we will paint his Skag somewhat soon so we can put all his stuff together. So yeah, he's already dry brushed and primed and everything, so we're ready to go. Okay, so like I always do, I always go on Borderlands fandom and I find a picture that I can put along with me painting so that I can go back and forth and reference. So we have the first Flak here. The Flak has a decent amount of shit. So he has this one, he has this one, which is decent because you get the full body. But then this also comes with the back area too, the sides, even a color palette right here. It even shows you a color palette. That's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, it's not showing the exact colors, but it gives you an idea of what colors are on Flak, which is decent. His gun though is different on his model here. So I'll either have to look up the gun or just paint it as a Jacobs, because it kind of looks like a Jacobs, so we might just do that. Also, before we start painting, I do want to let you guys know, I didn't get the Moxie for Monster Flight Cubs Borderlands, so my buddy that I do commissions for, or the 2 guys I do commissions for, they print me out stuff. So they finally printed me out a Moxie. They printed me out 3 Moxies, but so you guys can get a better idea of what it looks like. There's one of her standing on a Borderlands chest, which is cool as hell. And then there's another one that is like this, but she's like kind of like sorta dressed kind of thing. But there's a miniature version of this as well. So I have a mini version of this one that's around the same scale as the Monster Fight Clubs. And then I have the one of her standing on the loot chest. So I do have a Moxie that I can paint up for you guys in the future of this, because it's going to go along with these guys. And then he also printed me out 2 Liliths too. So they're different poses, so that's good. It's good to have different, models of the same character, different poses. So that is good. So let's get into painting and see where we get today. Alright guys, so to make life a lot easier with painting this model, since he's in this thick ass jacket, we are going to work from the inside out because it'll just be easier that way. So we're going to get in these crevices, and it looks to be You know, he has a red scarf. He has a yellow plate on his mask. He has a green eye. We can hit that later, though. He has a green area in the torso. He has tan pants on. And then he has off-white here, and this is off-white. So we want to work from the inside out. He has yellow down here on this shin. There's a lot of colors going on with Black. There's just a shit ton of different colors. So that's what we're going to try to work with. These are metallic here, but we're going to hit that with a gray first. Probably a basalt gray. And then you have a couple browns in here as well. And his shoe is kind of like a grayish color, a light gray. This is like a brown, coppery color. So we'll see what we can do here. There's just a shit ton going on with this miniature. But his jacket outside is green, so we're gonna probably hit this up with a decent. We don't want to go too dark with the green, so I'm thinking we have a green gray, and that is extremely dark. So I'm thinking that a dark green would be just enough to do it, or maybe actually a grass green. The grass green kind of looks more or less where we're at with that green, or an olive green. Olive green. We're doing olive green because it's dark, but it's kind of, it has like that. We'll do an olive green, and then we'll probably highlight with the grass green. That's what we're gonna do with the jacket. Okay, so let's start. Let's get this I guess the inside of his outfit done. Alright guys, so we have some base coats now. We have the green, we have a light brown for the pants. We did do the off-white on the off-white areas. We do need to use some yellow. So there's a yellow on his mask area. Underneath would be, I'm gonna say it would be like a burnt umber, and I'm gonna use burnt umber for pieces like the under his pocket area here, around his jacket and trim. We're gonna do that. I'm also gonna do the backpack in burnt umber. It is a darker color, but I want to do the trim with a tenebrow, because a tenebrow gray is very dark, almost black, so I don't want to confuse the eye. We are also going to use burnt umber for pieces of his wristband and shit like that. He does have some leather pieces too, which we will do a leather brown over, but we'll do that after we do we use the burnt umber on some of the pieces to kind of separate the stuff a little bit. The yellow though has to go in the mask. There is some yellow. It looks like there's some yellow around these grenade areas. And what we can do is seems darker, so we can use tenebrow gray for that. And this is yellow down here, his shin. His shin is yellow as well. So we are going to start off with the burnt umber and then go over with the yellow, so we don't smudge any yellow, or no, don't smudge any burnt umber onto the yellow, because this is a tight area in the mask. Okay, so I have to hit some more. I've been using a reddish gray for like the armored areas a little bit, so I do have to hit that up. I did hit the backpack up with a basalt gray, and then instead of an umbral, a burnt umber, because it was too dark, so I used a basalt gray for this, and then I used a tenebrow gray to kind of depict some parts out. I had some blue on my palette from last night, I think. doing one of my commissions, so I just mixed a little bit of water with it and I put the blue speck right there. I think that blue was a Russian blue lights, so that's what that blue was. Added my reds, of course, to the backpack, pieces of the hand, and of course the scarf. You guys seen the scarf earlier. So I do have to hit a couple more areas with the reddish gray, and then I'm going to move on to using a leather brown, because the leather brown is used for pieces of his jacket, like down here and up here. There is yellow. His thing is ripped open, so do be sure to hit the yellow inside there. I used a reddish gray on the zipper. We are going to go over with a glaze of Gravelord Gray, so it's going to dingy it down a little bit, and then we're going to dust it with a gunmetal. Yeah, so far this is turning out pretty good. I'm happy with it. There is some pictures that I can relate to also. On his shoulder there's a skull, and that is colored like yellow and red, so I will be hitting that up as well. But I'm going to do that after I do the brown. And yeah, then I'll probably look up what gun he's holding, because this is definitely not a Jacobs, so we're going to have to figure that one out. Alright guys, so Flak is definitely coming together now. Look at that. Alright, so what we're going to have to do is, we did put the skull there, yellow and red. What we're going to want to do is we're going to have to get a pink to do this bowl. This bowl back here is a pink bowl, and I think the spikes are, I think, black on it. Yeah, so you want to definitely paint that. It stands out, and it's one of his key things. He is a Beastmaster, so make sure you don't forget to do the pink bowl there. Also, I did kind of go upwards with a warm gray, because his pieces, the white, is actually really dingy at the bottom, so you want to hit that up as well. I also used an leather brown and a warm gray to highlight his foot a little bit more. Just have your reference photo up. It's really easy once you have something to look back and forth to. And if you don't have the right color paints, you should know that you can mix paints to make it either darker or lighter. You never don't have a specific color if you have assorted paints, because you can always mix colors. And that's what I kind of had to do here with certain parts. So we're going to hit that with a pink. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look up the gun to try to get that. He has a green eye. I have a translucent green, but it's very see-through. So what I'm going to need to do is either mix that with a light green maybe, and then see what I get there for his eye. But we want to find out what gun he is using, because that is going to determine what colors I have to put on there. Okay, so I just Google searched Flak with sniper, and this is literally the sniper he has in the trailer. So it's very dingy looking, so I might use a mix of like a bluish brown for certain parts, and then I'm going to use I think it is the burnt umber on certain parts, and then a reddish gray on certain parts, because that's what it's kind of showing here. So we are just going to hit this gun up, and then we'll dust it with a metallic over top of it, because this one does look actually like a metallic gun. So yeah. Alright, so it's definitely coming together. That fluorescent green, I was able to use it just straight on, and it's perfect. Like, his eye is definitely popping. We're going to hit a speck of that with a white just to kind of give it a glisten, but we're going to do that with the highlights. So now that we have everything kind of base coated, now we can go ahead and use a Gravelord Gray and just hit the whole model up. There's no skin tone on him, so we don't have to really worry about anything. We can just hit the whole model completely up. And I do have to do pink, so I did forget. don't forget to make sure the model is completely done. I went for working with the gun and completely forgot about the bowl. So I'm going to hit the bowl up, and then we're going to drench it, not drench it, but put a good coat of Gravelord Gray on it, and everything should start to pop. Alright, so just a quick note, hit everything with Gravelord Gray. All the leather parts you want to hit with a hardened leather. But if you only have Gravelord Gray, or if you're only using a regular wash, it's fine. It just makes the leather pop more. He's coming together big time. Like, he's looking really good. I'm really proud of this one. So what we're going to do while we're waiting for the speed paints or the glazes to dry, we're going to hit the base with a Rhinox hide so that the base is kind of getting ready to go. And then we'll work on our highlights. So you want to get a lighter green, not too much lighter, but you want a little bit lighter to hit the different squares on his jacket and the top of his jacket and stuff like that. You also want to get a leather brown to kind of hit the leather spots just in the raised areas. And then we're going to do a light dusting of metallic for the gun and his armor pieces, like here and here. Also his zipper, we just want to do a light dust in there so it kind of gives it a shine, but it doesn't blind the person looking at the model. You don't want to overdo it. We're going to leave that pink the way it is. I think it looks fine. Maybe highlight the red here just a tad little bit, and the blue maybe a tad little bit. The yellow, we would probably use a volcanic and just do a line here and there, just stipple it on there so that it kind of shows that there's a glisten there of that color. And then we can work on the base. So there you guys have it. The flak is now done. We did our subtle highlights and we went over the ground with a light earth shade, and then we added our grass. I really like how this turned out, and it looks really, really good. I want to thank all of you guys that stopped in today to check out today's video on painting flak. If this video helped you out in any sort of way painting your flak, or if it was just some entertainment to listen to while you were painting your miniatures or your army, be sure to leave this video a huge like. Subscribe if you haven't already. It would really help the channel if you guys would subscribe. But leaving this video a like is also a very huge help for the channel. So hopefully what we're going to do next is probably work on the pets, because we have 3 pets that we have for him, and we have that one. We have a spider ant, which is right here, and then we have the skag. So yeah, I have to work on his pets as well. I don't know if I'm going to do that in one big video or separately, but yeah, that will probably be the next project, because I do want to have them with my flak on the shelf up there, because that shelf has all of the Borderlands characters plus good guys in my Bunkers and Badasses campaign. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm so glad that we're getting through these miniatures. We still have a long time till they're all done, but we are knocking out the Vault Hunters pretty good, and I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. This one turned out really nice, and I wanted to get this one knocked out because of all of the crazy shit that he has on him, all the different colors, and I wanted to kind of just like get him over with because it's also flak. But what we're gonna do is we're going to work our way down. So once we're done with flak stuff, we're going to work our way through the Borderlands 3, and then we'll work on Borderlands 2 characters, and then we'll get to the Borderlands 1 characters. I want to leave the OG stuff for last. So I'm very excited for the future of this series that we're doing, and I'm really happy, and I'm getting a lot of viewers, so I really appreciate it, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.